let us go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of side Delta, we have our Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Twisted Minds. It is Shameless. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Play sure bets. Krystianer is the favorite to take the entire tournament. Shameless is the young up-and-comer. Again, he's 18 years old. He has been rising through the ranks of the ladder of the European region over the past year of play and has been getting better and better results. I mean, hey, he just took down the reigning STC champion in Nikic. That was a big win already. Can Shameless keep going? And can he make it to the finals? Can he go the distance? Again, best of luck. Shameless has not won a Sparkling Tuna Cup before, but he has made it to the semis. I mean, we've made it here to semis before as well. I don't think Shameless has made it to the finals before. I could be mistaken, but yeah, Shameless, he has made it at most of the semis, but never quite made it to the grand finals. So again, it is going to be a big result for him if he can make it that far. For now, we are going for a gate expand, gate into Cybercore, into the Nexus on the low ground. With the double gas opener, Shameless has the potential to go for a faster tech structure first, for a Stargate, followed by the Nexus. We'll see. Meanwhile, Krystianer setting up for a one-base all-in. Yeah, the one-base all-in is going to be upon us. The pylon is done, and show us the proxy. What's it going to be? The Robo or the Stargate, or even a gateway? Cybercore is about to finish up, and it is the Robo. Okay, so Krystianer is going for a one-base all-in. Shameless, it's on our blue Protoss to do his best max packs impression and to survive. To survive and to make it out of this. We'll see if he can bring it home here as we're going for that expansion. Nexus on the way. Shameless is scouting with the probe and, oh, will come across the proxy. Very nicely done. The probe does come across the Robo. We're fully aware of the all-in. And Shameless, it's on him to prepare, to get ready. We're going to need Void Rays, Shield Batteries. We're going to need a setup in the main base as well. Assuming that this was for a Prism at some point. Speaking of, there it is, Prism's on the way. That is going to be a way to bypass the front door and to slip into the main instead. Adepts shading in. Oh, we missed the wall! Oh, yeah. We're not quite punished for it. Shade is cancelled. More Adepts on the way. Prism's coming out behind this, going for a Twilight Council. Now we can load up and head towards the main base. Prism en route. And that main base looking very vulnerable. Uh-oh. Shameless is not quite ready, not quite in position. Gonna be slipping in. And that's being dropped. Up. And we do threaten the mineral line. Void Ray does rotate the ground army as well. But probes are still going down. When we get 3, we're gonna get just 3 workers for the time being. We shade towards the low ground, getting another probe. And another. 5 probe kills, 6 probe kills. It's a good start. Definitely a good start, but we're not done. Nowhere close. Adept shades into the main. We get another probe. 7, 8 probe kills in total. Before Adepts. 2-for-1 trade. Behind this, following this up with Blink. Blink is on the way. Another gateway as well. Getting up to 4 Gate Blink Stalkers. Oracle does hit the main base, but Krystianer's in position. Does deflect. So there's layers to this all-in from Krystianer. First, it's going to be Adept Harass to cripple the economy, followed by the 4 Gate Blink Stalker. Oh boy. There are layers. Here comes the second phase of the all-in from Krystianer. Is moving out. Meanwhile, back at home, we do have an extra pylon on the way. 2 shield batteries set up at the natural. The main base, we have a lot of Void Rays already. 2, soon to be 3. I'm loving the stasis trap. Shameless getting ready to catch out Krystianer. Krystianer going to be rotating. Does back off, does attempt to rotate. Blink is finishing up in a couple of seconds. We do have to be wary of that stasis. That could end the game for Krystianer. Likewise on the stasis here on the low ground. Oh, trying to trigger that stasis as well. Not quite able to. So far, dancing with the army. And Krystianer hasn't lost anything yet. Bearing in mind, though, the longer this goes on, the worse it is for Krystianer. As Shameless has been able to recover his economy. Has been able to recover. Oracle across the map. Krystianer in position. Does defend. Oof. It is going for the Stargate. Doesn't quite bring it down. Doesn't quite claim it. More reinforcements on the way. Stargate getting low. Stasis is triggered. Now we can commit a little bit harder, but we have 4 shield batteries. Stargate goes down. We blink in. We go for the dive. We get 1, we get 2, we get 3. 3 Void Rays go down. Yeah, we have enough to one-shot. Krystianer has hit critical mass. And now we pull the trigger. We bring down every single Void Ray, and now there's barely anything left. Very patient play out of Krystianer, waiting for his ideal moment. Waiting for his opportunity. And now we're down to a single Oracle and 1 Adept. Krystianer has done a GG, gets called. Krystianer takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Oh my god, I was a little bit concerned there with how long that all-in was taking, but Krystianer, who was just waiting for his moment where he could trigger that stasis, where he could bring down that Stargate and go for the dive, and he had enough to one-shot those Void Rays. Did have enough. GG. GG, well played. Krystianer does take a lead, and we'll see if he can claim the win here and go for the 2-0 and make it to the finals, or if Shameless can bounce back. We shall see. As we're going to be leading into Ghost River. Interesting. A much smaller map here in the map pool. The smallest map in the map pool even. One of the shortest rushes since his aggression is favored, and who's going to be the aggressor? That's the question. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ghost River, we have our Polish Protoss player. The red Protoss representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player representing Twisted Minds. It is Shameless. Here we go. Again, this time we would be tempted to go for a more economic opener. Last game on side Delta, it is safer to go for the gate expand. This time, Shameless opening up 2 gates on the high ground. Probes being sent out. Up. They do pass by each other. And we'll see what kind of opener we go for. With 2 gate openers, we can head into double Stalker, double Adept, Stalker Sentry. We'll see what we embrace. We shall see. Krystianer strikes back. I'm telling you, Krystianer, he's part tuna. It's the only thing that makes sense, really. It's the only thing that makes sense. He has tuna inside him. As for now, we are settling in. We have our 2 gateways, and we're getting to our units of choice. Interesting. Okay, gonna be a bit of a greedier opener. Basically, Krystianer is skipping his second unit. He's skipping the second unit, going for a sentry into expansion, sentry into Nexus. Meanwhile, Shameless going double Stalker. So Krystianer is being greedier, Shameless being more aggressive. With double Stalker, we can move out across the map and try to punish the greed of Krystianer. Shameless going for the pylon block. Nicely done. Does go for the pylon. This will delay the expansion and will force out that Stalker. Stalker is on the way. Pylon is cancelled. Now we can expand. Likewise, pylon also cancelled across the map, and both players will settle into their naturals. Next hire on the way. From here we can calm down. Getting into additional Stalkers. And we'll see what kind of tech we do embrace as well. Hallucination won't quite get into the main. It is going to be a Twilight Council for Shameless. Likewise, Twilight Council for Krystianer. Both players working towards Blink. Okay. It's going to be Blink here from both players. Likewise, hallucinations. I mean, this is a big reason why sentry-based openers are so common in PvP. Hallucinations are king. Hallucinations, they just give us so much information, so much scouting. They confirm whether or not there's a Stargate, a Robo, a Dark Shrine, upgrades. They see all, they know all. So we get a full scout of the main from Krystianer. Likewise, Krystianer about to do the same. Getting a full scout of his opponent's main. It's important that we just maintain these hallucinations and just keep tabs on each other to make sure there's no crazy all-in or crazy tech. Like a Dark Shrine or a Gateway Explosion. From here, Krystianer going to be the first to expand. It takes the third. Shameless not too far behind. Throwing down the juice box and expanding. Let's go. Expansion has been thrown down. Hallucinations will confirm. Krystianer sees the third. Shameless, soon to see the third base as well. So far, we're keeping up. So far, we're keeping up with each other. We are neck and neck. When it comes to our tech, Krystianer is going to be the first to deviate a little bit, going for a Forge and a Robo. But you can see that Shameless not too far behind, going for his own Robo as well. No Forge yet, so it looks like Shameless will fall behind a little bit here in the upgrades. As the Forge is now thrown down. So there's going to be like a timing, and there's going to be a window where Krystianer is going to be slightly ahead in upgrades, but it's not going to be the largest of windows. Shouldn't be too impactful. That shouldn't be. Go. As +1 is on the way for both players. We're just calming things down. And after the intensity of game 1, here in game 2, we're just chilling. We're just chilling, we're just expanding, taking our third bases, working towards eventually a fourth base as well. Building up our armies, no one is pulling the trigger, no one is moving out. It is difficult to be the aggressor in this position just because we have so many sentries, we can force field the ramps, we can just cut the army up. Now we're calming down. And we're still keeping up with each other. We have 6 gates on the way for both players. We have the Templar Archives on the way for both players. Looks like both Krystianer and Shameless are working towards Charge of Archon with Immortal production as well. Krystianer is slightly faster to expand. Does take the fourth. Does take the fourth. Shameless will take his own, but his is more of a response and a reaction to the fourth base of Krystianer. Slightly behind. Ooh. And slightly off center as well. Will be replaced. Here we go, as we are moving out. Krystianer finally going to be pushing. Does have the immortal advantage. Bear that in mind. Like, both players have similar tech, but Krystianer has that immortal lead. Rotating over. His goal is to try to get on top of the fourth base. Shameless does keep up. Is aware. So we will hit the fourth base. And again, we have the bit of concave from the side of Krystianer. Some of the immortals a little bit too far back, so stalkers are getting picked off. Shameless going to be able to pick off some of those stalkers, getting on top of the Zelts as well. Shameless, he will take the better fight. And he's getting on top of the immortals. Again, Krystianer, so much of his army just was not engaging. Reinforcements have arrived. Krystianer, it looks like he just barely won't have enough. Yeah, we're going to clean the Zelts and then get on top of the final immortal. Krystianer losing everything here. And this was not it. This was not the fight to take. Again, the Immortals were a little bit too far back. The Stalkers were a little bit too far back as well. A lot of the range-based units were not really engaging efficiently. And that was a blundered fight, a blundered assault from Krystianer. And now Shameless. We can counterattack. We can send it. We can go. Shameless still waiting for reinforcements. Krystianer, the pressure is on him to get some counter damage done. Dropping into the natural. Does force a recall. And can we snipe the Prism? Oh, we can! Prism goes down. Without a War Prism, there's nothing to keep Shameless pinned back. Nothing to keep him back. We do see Shameless now working on +3. Likewise, Krystianer catching up in that upgrade. And here we go. Shameless going for a massive counterattack. Is going to be pushing into shield batteries and an overcharge. Bear that in mind. But does have the supply lead. And Krystianer, he lost most of his high-tech units already. It's going to be charged on Archon against each other. Overcharge is popped. Shameless has to wait it out. At the same time, Zelts hit the natural. We're ready though. We're fine. We have Zelts, we have cannons, we defend. And Shameless can keep pushing. And he's going to collapse up to the fourth. And he gets us up the shield batteries. Archons push forward as well. And that is going to be a brutal fight for Krystianer. He just cannot keep up. Not anymore. Not against this wave of Archons. GG gets called. And Shameless ties up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. Krystianer just misjudging his move out and misjudging that initial fight. Things went south real quick for Krystianer, and Shameless was able to snowball out of control from there, was able to have just the more ideal defense, was able to shut down the army of Krystianer, and then snowball out of control with that counterattack. GG. GG, well played. We're going all the way to the ace match. Oh boy. We are going to game 3. And we'll see how this story ends. Let's go. Here we go. We're getting into the ace matches. We're going to be loading into post-youth. Interesting. Interesting choice here for the ace. We don't see too many PvPs on this map, but I'm ready for it. Does either player attempt a one-base all-in? Or do we embrace something like Phoenix Wars instead? That is possible. here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Post Youth, we have our red Polish Protoss player. The red Protoss, representing Starlight Twinkle, being forced into the ace match, into a tied-up series. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Team Twisted Minds, tying it up, forcing the ace match. Can it keep going? It is Shameless. Here we go. And Post Youth, of course, is one of the few maps that has a ramp leading to the natural, so we can go for greedier builds. Likewise, it's also easier to defend your natural base, so one base all-ins are ill-advised on Post Youth. You know, a gate into straight-up Nexus is a lot more viable on this map. Krystianer opening up double gas. Shameless, not too far behind. We have seen players just go straight-up Nexus first. We saw that last night in WTL. Stats was crazy. It was wild. We have seen Nexus first before. I say stats, it was classic if I recall correctly. It was classic versus trap on Post Youth. It was during KSL. Absolute animal. Ay, ay, ay. And that's where Trappy attempted a proxy Void Ray against Classic, which did not work out. Speaking of proxy, Krystianer throwing down a pylon. And as Shameless opens up economically, Krystianer, he opens up 2 gates into a 1-base all-in. There it is, at proxy Robo. Okay, now this is a bold move. The reason why I say this, unlike Side Delta, for example, which has a ramp leading to the natural, this is a ramp leading to the main. This is a much more defendable base structure here for Shameless. Shameless does open Stargate before Nexus, so Shameless will have Void Rays, and unlike Side Delta, if you remember, where, at least in other games, in other series, where the Protoss player was pulled apart between the main and the natural, we have one location to defend. I mean, technically we could be forced here towards the right-hand side, but more or less it is easier to hold on Post Youth. So we'll see if Krystianer can make the magic happen. It looks like this a very similar build, actually, to Game 1. Game 1, we had Proxy Robo into Prism into Adepts, followed by a secondary 1-base all-in of 4-gate Blink Stalker. And there's a Twilight Council for Blink. Meanwhile, Adepts, they shade in. Ooh, the wall's open. The wall's not a wall. We shade into the main base. We got 5 probe kills already. This is not the best start for Shameless. 5, 6 probes go down. Ay, ay, ay. 6 worker kills so far. The Prism has arrived. It's going to be dropping into the main. Servers on the way. And there's the 3rd gateway. And soon we're going to be seeing a 4th gate alongside Blink. So this is the same build as Game 1. But already we're getting a lot of damage done. And we're getting even more. Ay, ay, ay. We slip in and we get another probe kill. Another 2. 2 probes, we shade in towards the natural. No mining whatsoever. We just keep shading back and forth. Oracle's racing back. Ooh, and the Adepts are finally going to be cleaned up. Getting 4 probe kills. Finally are cleaned up. Stalkers are on the way. Blink is on the horizon. 4th gateway. So 1-base 4-gate Blink from Krystianer. And we'll see if he can amass a critical mass amount of Stalkers once again to one-shot Void Rays. That's what he was able to accomplish in Game 1. I want to say it's 11 Stalkers. I want to say 11. But we'll see. We are initially heading towards the natural. Headed for the mineral line. And probes are under fire. Shameless is going to attempt to respond. Observer is caught out. Not bad. We're getting up to 11 Stalkers. Stasis Trap is going to be triggered. Reinforcements are still on the way. We don't want to go for the dive yet, but Prismatic Alignment is going to be baited out. We bait out Prismatic Alignment. It's going to be a big factor of this. Chipping away at the Cyber Core. Nice blinks. One Stalker goes down. And we do have a backup stasis already set up. And trying to blink forward. Patient play here. We don't want to dive yet. Chipping away at the base, chipping away at the army. Overcharge is popped. We have more reinforcements. Getting up to 15 Stalkers. 15 Stalkers for Krystianer. Nothing back at home. Oracle is spotted. Once again, Prismatic Alignment going to be on cooldown, so is Overcharge. That would be the time. A little bit too soon. Respect the Void Rays. Getting up to 18. Void Ray taking a lot of hits. Cyber Core as well. The Cyber Core will fall. Does create a larger opening here. Making our way in. Shield batteries are running out of energy. But have we noticed the Stasis Trap? That is the question. Because if we blink in now, that could cost us the game. Oh, and I'm worried that he hasn't seen it. I'm worried that it hasn't been spotted. Ooh. As the army's getting very battered and bruised. Meanwhile, across the map, Oracle has arrived. Krystianer does respond. Does defend his bases. Oh, Krystianer supply blocked. Uh-oh. It's going to be supply blocked. We're getting to 4 Void Rays. 5th Void Ray has arrived. Stasis is about to run out. Now, a couple more seconds, and these Stalkers are so low. So many of them one shot away from going down. We have an Immortal. The longer this goes on, the harder it becomes for Krystianer. The Immortal does complicate things. He's going to try to bait out that Stasis. He does catch it, and now we're going in. It has to be our moment here and now, but it looks like we cannot break through. Shameless, he's defended. It looks like he has done it at this point. Now we have a second Immortal as well. Krystianer just unable to break through this. Unable to bait out the Stasis. There we go, does bait it out, so he blinks in! We have an Overcharge, we have 2 Immortals. Yeah, we have far too much here. Shameless, he shuts down the army, shuts down the Stalkers. And GG gets called. Shameless will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the Grand Finals for the first time in his career. GG. GG. GG, well played. Krystianer going for the same build. Unfortunately, this time he just wasn't able to find the avenue to actually break through, to break in. He wasn't able to find the same opportunity that he did in the previous game, where he was able to try to punish his opponent and go for the dive before we really hit critical mass of Void Rays or even hit Immortals. Really, that was the win condition for Shameless, is survive long enough to get Immortals. To get those Immortals up and running, and once they arrived, that was game then and there. Like, we were so secure, we were so heavily fortified, there was no breaking that position. Not anymore. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, Shameless will take the series, will advance on to the Grand Finals. And this is a big moment here for Shameless. Again, my condolences to Krystianer. Krystianer, he's an amazing player. Krystianer, he has won the most amount of Sparkling Tuna Cups in the history of STC. He has the most wins under his belt. But this week, he does falter in the semifinals. No shame in getting knocked out in the semis. And Shameless is just that much more on fire here tonight. At least defensively, was able to survive the aggression of Krystianer and make it to those finals. GG. GG, well played.